Ben 10. I haven't taken it out yet. Oh, well, my name's Fox 9, so they can have it, Fox. Season 4 of Ben 10 just released, or released like maybe a few days ago on HBO Max, and I watched it all. First off, obviously, I liked it. I also took a shit ton of notes. But, I enjoyed this season. There's a lot less Kevin in this, which, you know, Kevin's my favorite. Kevin's my freaking favorite, but whenever he's around, it's pretty damn good. And not saying even when he's not around, it's not good. It is pretty still freaking good. But, also, like, if you're gonna watch it on HBO Max, Google the episodes or Wikipedia the episodes and see what the British air date is, because I didn't, and I started watching it, and it's like, yes, Ben has his new OMNIKIX. Ben has his OMNIKIX armors, and all I'm thinking is, am I forgetting in season 3? Did his watch evolve at that point? Did we see the OMNIKIX? Like, mind you, yes, I've seen the movie, which technically I would say is the season finale of season 3 of the Ben 10 reboot, or season 4 of the Ben 10 reboot, but and like it really, like, my only like big concern, like not concern or question, problem with this season was that it didn't feel like there was a big finale, but that's because the movie was the big finale. But but yeah, like the OMNIKIX, and then like the key, and then eventually I looked it up, and it's like, oh, they, for some dumb reason, I just realized that, never mind. Like, they used, like, the Season 3 front plate instead of this one, which is the actual plate that they needed to use for this. But anyways, that's beside the point. I need to freaking take this out of here. Maybe next episode. Maybe next time. When Season 5 starts. But yeah, so basically, eventually I looked it up, and I watched from episode 1, from the correct episode 1, where they find the OMNIKIX key, and they put it in and all that stuff. Yeah, because for some reason, season 3 felt like it was completely out of order, and it's really freaking weird, because the air dates are so freaking wrong. It's like, no, put them in the right order, at least the story bits. The story bits at least put in the right order, and then everything else in between, sure, fuck it up. But at least put the story bits in the right order. In this one, it's something similar to that. At least for that bit, but I was able to put them together the correct order and watch them. I'm not even talking about it. I'm already 3 minutes in. Sorry. Characters, first off, the OMNIKIX, I believe they are the OMNIKIX, the new armors that Ben gets are pretty freaking badass. They're really badass. Ben also has Jet Ray now instead of Stinkfly, which I think is a very good choice. Because I'll say this, Stinkfly, again, is my least favorite design-wise in the reboot. He's not that good. He's not really well designed. They're like, we're making most of the aliens pretty much the same, except him. We're going to change him to make him look more humanoid so we could try to sell more toys, but they couldn't sell more toys, so it's like, fuck. Let's switch him out for someone better. Jet Ray. Let's get those Ultimate Alien guys in here. Or Alien Force, whatever. In either case, it's a good choice. The armors, honestly, are a good choice as well. The armors are pretty cool. It's like, okay, Ben has an upgraded strength and powers and stuff like that, but it has also the limitation of that it'll time out quicker. So, let's say, even though, it really depends on story-wise, where a transformation would last, like, 3 to 4 minutes an episode, something like that, it only lasts, like, 1 minute an episode. So you don't see them all that much or too long, usually. And I say usually because, like, something like Accelerate running super fast, like, and then he has, like, jetpack going, it's like, oh, okay. It depends. But yeah, stuff like that. Alright, cool. Ben was just, Ben was pretty cool. I like the OMNIKIX. I like that they're continuing with Gwen knowing capoeira. Dancing fighting thing, which, mind you, I would prefer her to use more magic, which I think at one point she does use magic, but not like how she does in like the original series, or how she's an Anodite in the other ones, but that's beside the point. Omniverse she uses again, but anyways, that's still good. Humongousaur in Tokyo, they went back to Tokyo and he turned to Humongousaur, which I'm like, hell yeah. But also another thing that I really like, because this is just slowly making Humongousaur one of my favorite aliens, which actually I have his toy around here somewhere, I think. That Humongousaur's armor, I think, is a dual Godzilla reference. One, it makes him kind of look like Mechagodzilla, kind of. It's a robotic dinosaur, so okay, whatever. Mechagodzilla, but then also he gains atomic breath. Like, it's just like, and it even starts like how it does in the Monsterverse movie, where it starts at the tail, goes up the spine, and then shoots a blast of energy. And it's like, okay, I like that. that's really cool. I like that. OMNIKIX Accelerate also looks pretty much like classic OG Accelerate, which I'm like, okay, I like that as well. That's cool. That's kind of when I'm saying it right. OMNIKIX are the armors, right? Or is that the one where Shock Rock? Whatever. The Shock Rock upgrade of like Wildvine look more like the classic Wildvine. This makes Accelerate look more like Accelerate, which I actually really like. Actually, did they switch out Wildvine? I think they did. Yeah, I think they switched out Wildvine for Cannon Bolt. No. They switched out Upgrade. They switched out Upgrade for Cannon Bolt. They switched out Humongousaur for someone else. I think they switched out Gray Matter. Holy shit, I didn't even realize that they switched out a few of the aliens already. Still, that's pretty good. I like that. That's cool that they switched out aliens. They need to. Then keep it fresh, keep it moving. I like that. I like that a lot. Kevin and Ben get drowned kneeboarding. Oh, yeah. I'll bring up Kevin in a minute because I really like this up. Grandpa Max was pretty okay. The entire season was pretty good. Even like different, like again, the OMNIKIX are a good change of pace. They add more to the aliens, and also has a downside to them, which I'll say because someone put up like what are the best like Ben 10 gimmicks. And, like, what are the best 10 gimmicks? It was, like, fusions, the OMNIKIX, Shock Rock armors, and, it was some other shit. I can't remember what the other one was. And I like, fusions, I would say, is number one, because fusions have so many different combinations that you can do. And also, if it's, like, Dragon Ball Z logic, you can do, like, okay, there's Ben Wolf and Ben Mummy, but then there's also Ben Mummy, Ben Wolf. And, like, depending on which is more, like, the prominent DNA and shit like that, like, you can do that and, like, have different combinations of powers. But anyways, beside the point. That was pretty cool. The villains actually are really funny. Like, Timbuktu actually was really funny at one point where he's like, where Ben calls him old man. He's like, old man, I'm in my 20s. And the camera guy, because it's like a recording film documentary, so he's like, your 20s? What happened to you? He just beats the shit out of the cameraman. Let's see here. Area 55, that was pretty funny. It's like, oh, yes, not Area 51 or 2, 55. Oh, then equals 10. I'm an idiot. Slap fighting. Yeah, okay. Alright, so Gwen, pretty good. The other villain's pretty good. The episodes were all pretty fun. Kevin also outed the Forever Knight, which also apparently is just a consciousness in a helmet. Might be an alien. Might be Albedo. I don't know. But he's like his consciousness, the Forever Knight's consciousness is in a helmet, and like it could take over people. I'm like, all right. Kevin's back from time traveling, I guess. Like, they never explained that one. But he's also trying to find a villain to kind of team up with, which was really funny at one moment where he teamed up with Hex. And he was like, yes, I will give you the sword of MacGuffin. I'm like, if you don't know what a MacGuffin is, it's basically an item just to move the plot along, and they just call it the Sword of MacGuffin. And I'm just like, okay, that's fucking funny. But let's get in to what I guess there's a little, mind you, the whole big thing was the movie, and that's what was the finale. But I just did the Amphibia episode, and I talked a little bit about like pacing and a little bit stuff like that and setting stuff up. They're setting up Kevin's stuff so damn well, and I love it. Because Kevin, like, there's an episode where basically they're all just telling stories, and like it's in a different style. Each one of them's like Tim Burton style, which was really cool. Another one was like kind of Jetson-esque. It's probably another one, but like it's kind of like that kind of style, like 50s cartoon animation, kind of. Is it 50s, 60s, 70s, probably 70s. Oh, Jesus, the 50s like black and white, 70s like around that kind. And then you have Ben doing a paper one, but then they go into Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, all right, you caught my, all right. Yeah, all right, game. I mind you, I would have liked if you would have done the original Ben 10 animation for one of those, which they do at one random ass point, but that's beside the point as well. But yeah, they do a Dragon Ball Z one, and there's a bit where it's kind of like Ronaldo in Steven Universe, where it seems like it's fucking nonsense. Like, and mind you, I hate Ronaldo with all the passion that I have, but Ronaldo, there's a point where he yells, he says, the Diamond Authority is coming to suck the world dry of, like, their resources, or some shit like that, and leave the world hollow. And basically, he described everything that was going to happen, but we just thought it was mad rambling of a dumbass. And this has a very similar thing, where Ben and Kevin are fighting, and a few things happen. Let's see. They bring up that, like, Kevin tries to transform, or Ben's watch is messing with Kevin's watch, and basically Kevin becomes a mutant again. He gets transformed, like, to a half forearms, half accelerate. Or he then, they also set up throughout this season, Ben not, like, thinking more about his aliens and wondering, should he even keep the watch? Should he give up the watch? Which I'm looking at this, again, one of my biggest issues with Alien Force was that's like, yes, Ben Tennyson, the kid who loved this watch for all that it's worth and, you know, he wanted to be a hero and stuff like that, gave up his watch, probably let thousands of people die, because, again, villains weren't, like, locked away. They were still around. They just weren't in Bellwood. So, like, it's just like, you're, like, great power comes great responsibility, and one thing I really hate about that is it also comes from, and though I love Spider-Man, but the Tobey Maguire one is like, I don't want to be Spider-Man. Dumbass, you're saving people. Shut the hell up. You're supposed to help them. I didn't see Ben like the guy who'd be like that. And he becomes like a really goody two-shoes in Alien Force, which I was like, no. But this, like, it's setting Ben up like, yeah, do I even really want this watch? If this Ben gave up the watch at the end of the series, which technically we see Ben 10,010, where he has the Omnitrix still, unless he, like, puts it back on, I don't think he will give it up. But still, like, they set that up more. And then also, like, they set up Kevin slowly being corrupted, as well as saying that, like, Ben's watch, or Ben's Omnitrix, is messing with Kevin's, which would probably fit, my assumption would be, man, I really should have taken this out of the box. Kevin's, like, little prongs are probably a mutator, but also they're kind of like a satellite, or something that relays onto the Omnitrix and allows Kevin to gain new, to connect with the Omnitrix and use those DNA samples from the Omnitrix, but mutated. If anything, the mutations might actually be because it's, you know, like, when you get, like, Wi-Fi and stuff like that, so, like, but it's, like, slower on your thing instead of getting, like, a direct line to, like, internet. It's like using an Ethernet cable to your PlayStation or console. It's like, oh, yes, my internet works way better. But then when you play with, like, Wi-Fi, it's like, oh, shit, it's all laggy and shit. Maybe that's what the mutations are. They are a lag, kind of. Beside that, but then also, but But then also Kevin brings something up where, like, because Ben basically in that thing says that, yeah, he gives up the watch to save Kevin and all this stuff. But then also Kevin said, dweeb, I could just build a new Omnitrix. And all I'm thinking is, holy shit, that's right. Kevin built his Omnitrix. Mind you, if the DNA thing is correct and he needs the main Omnitrix to connect to it to then transform, it would basically be useless. But Kevin created his own Omnitrix, which really is kind of fucking cool. Mind you, it's like, again, it's a very limited one where it only has 11 aliens. Apparently more in Season 5. Apparently he will get another alien. Which, that is a thing that I will say, like, he technically doesn't need it, but Kevin doesn't. I do want Kevin to have his own upgrades. Some of his own upgrades to the watch, because he is still stuck with the original 10, his original 10. But yeah, like, I feel like he should get some more upgrades too, but then also that might just show, like, how strong Kevin is, that he doesn't need to, like, upgrades to fight Ben. I don't know. But that's all good. And again, going more into other things, that Kevin, like, if they're really hammering home that this kid is literally, like, the reason why he's a jerk to Ben is because he's jealous of him, for one, like, or what Ben has, and that Kevin really just kind of wants a family. He kind of just wants, you know, someone to say they're proud of him. Because literally at one point, like, he's just having he's having insomnia, and he's just, like, one, dressed up in the 90s again, because Kevin is badass. Also, everyone can say, like, he's a guy who's stupid. Why does that kid have such bad hair? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? His hair looks awesome. He's a badass. But I'm a sucker for long hair. But Kevin, he's trying to find his CD, and then when you find out later on, the CD will help him go to sleep. It turns out that the CD he was looking for is an ASMR of a dad going, I'm proud of you, son. Do you want to hang out? Let's go play ball. Do you, like, I'm just like, that is, like, one of the greatest ways to show, to give an entire story of why Kevin does everything he does. And, like, you know, continue his storyline and everything that he's doing while being really fucking funny, but also being really fucking sad. Because it's like, oh my god, this kid just wants a dad to tell him, like, you know, I'm proud of you, and family, I'm proud of you. So I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, Kevin, I love you so damn much. But yeah, also another cool thing that happened was, I don't think this happened in the last season, there was dual transformations where, like, Kevin and Ben would transform in the same sequence, and, like, it's cool because, like, Ben would turn to Slapback, which actually is growing on me, but then, like, Bashmouth would form, but then he'd hit Slapback's back to then turn him into the armored form, and I'm like, that's actually really cool. But yeah, that was really cool. I liked that. Also, at one point where Kevin's riding on a skateboard, he flips in the air. Everyone has, like, their own, like, thing. Like, Gwen has skates, Ben has a scooter, Kevin obviously would have the skateboard, and he flips in the air and says, Edgelord. And I'm just like, I know we're supposed to be like, oh, he's an Edgelord, cringe. I'm just like, I love this fucking character. I love Edgelords. I love, they're the fucking coolest characters. Sasuke, Kevin in this, shit, I'm trying to think of the other ones. Domo and Kashu from G Gundam. Shadow the Hedgehog. Vegeta's okay. That one I actually prefer Goku. But Riku from Kingdom Hearts, like, the Edgelords are badass. They're the Lancers. They're the Lancer class. They're the freaking coolest. And when you take them, you could pretty much make your own story around them that's usually a darker one and stuff like that. Like, I honestly would love a Naruto story where it's just Sasuke. At least Sasuke when he was hunting down Itachi, stuff like that. It was like a Western cowboy thing every time he popped up. Western ninja cowboy, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool. But, beside the point. But anyways, but that whole story plotline was really, really good. Like, setting all that up is really, really good. And it is a point where, like, unlike, let's say, Amphibia, again, where, like, that one's like, okay, the main story, obviously is the girls, but that their story is also connected to the box and like what is the box, why is Hot Pop gonna do, like it's all this build up is just kind of coming, and we're not getting too much payoff. For Kevin, we get payoff every so often on his thing. It's like, yeah, he's sometimes an antagonist, but in the end also he's just helping. Like, hell, he even like helps a son get back at his dad in one episode. And like, you know, it's probably because he wants to get back at his own dad. And then you have you know, like at the end of an episode, like Kevin and Ben are fighting stuff like that, and then at the end he hangs out with the family, whether that be boogie boarding and nearly getting drowned, to stealing the Martian, like helping with a story, and pointing out again that he built the Omnitrix. At one point, also like he's fighting, like, I have the upper hand. Changes back, he's like, I just tuned you up, and I'm just like, God, I love that he's like. Unlike Ben, where it's like, okay, I have the ultimate weapon on my arm, which mind is nothing bad. Like, I have the ultimate weapon. I would love an Omnitrix any case, but I have the ultimate weapon on my arm, or ultimate thing and stuff like that. If this sucker breaks, I'm fucking screwed. Kevin is like, I can fix it. Kevin's like, yeah, my thing isn't perfect, but I can fix it. I can fix it and hopefully modify it, which I hope he does. And, you know, we see later on in the movie that, yeah, like there's more issues that happen with the Omnitrix, and eventually he's gonna get help with it from Grandpa Max's friend, who's evil in the original series, but in this one he's kind of like he makes evil things happen on accident sometimes. But yeah, I liked all that. I like that setup is really good, and like it has many little payouts where you see it just, you know. Like, Kevin is like, it's not like, oh, Kevin's like an unforgivable monster or some shit like that. No, it's Kevin's like literally, like, hell, there's one episode where like he's, like, time gets frozen. He's like, I'm going to pull the greatest pranks ever. But when nobody notices him, he's like, what's the point? It's like, he just wants attention. He just wants attention. Or the point where he almost tries to, like, sell his feelings to Gwen and all this stuff. Like, Kevin is the most... But Kevin, oh my God, Catra's another edgelord. I love her. I love her. She's the saving grace of the She-Ra animated series, and I don't care what the hell anyone says. She is the best character in that. Lapis Lazuli, that's another one. She's good too. But She-Ra, I think, Catra's the best written character in the She-Ra series, in the She-Ra animated series of the reboot. And in this, Kevin is kind of pretty much one of the best. Mind you, no, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Well, Kevin is one of the best written ones. Ben is also being written actually very well. Again, it's setting up that, like, yeah, he might give up his watch. Yeah, he probably doesn't want to be here all the time. Literally every bit of... it's really freaking weird that everyone who loves, like, Alien Force or Ultimate Alien, and it's just, like, the biggest turnoff for me was that it went from OG to Alien Force, and it's just like, why did Ben take off the watch? Why did this happen? It's never explained how it happens. Why is Kevin suddenly out of the null void? Why does Kevin suddenly like Gwen? And it's just like, what the hell? And then, like, literally every other series, whether the original, Omniverse, even the reboot, it's just like, yeah, we're going to tell basic fucking storyline, and we're going to show as it slowly develops. Like, yeah, Gwen is slowly becoming the wizard that she is in Ben 10,000. Yeah, Ben's world is slowly becoming the one where we see in Ben 10,000 again, where the world is filled with aliens, and he's, you know, meeting up with Kai, and, you know, that whole love relationship is kind of blossoming, and it sets everything up so well. Alien Force, and it just shows the things like Alien Force Ultimate Alien, where it's like, what the fuck? What were you doing? You had a plan. You had a perfect blueprint. OG Ben 10,000. Why did you try to F that up? Why did you try to F that up? And, like, why did you try to do something? Like, again, honestly, I like what they're doing in the reboot a lot. And to the point where, like, when I'm watching, because I'm watching Ultimate Alien, or Alien Force right now, I'm just like, God, Kevin's so boring. Power-wise, he's so damn boring. I would rather see him transform into aliens. I'd rather see him... They could have made him a biological Omnitrix, where maybe the Omnitrix has messed with his absorbing powers, and so now when he touches an alien, he can store their DNA and still use them, and, like, maybe he has more control over his powers like that, instead of just Yes, I'm gonna touch wood and absorb wood. Though later on there's another part of the season that I know that he's gonna be completely naked for 90% of it, and he's like different colors and shit, and he's basically a ripoff of a DC hero. But then again, Ben 10 is also kind of a ripoff of Dial a Hero, Dial H for Hero. But beside the point, not ripoffs. They're inspired by them. But still, but yeah, I love what the reboot's doing. I love this season so damn much. Also, I love this is a clip that someone showed me later, like on Twitter of Ben and Gwen like on a tablet. Like Ben's on a tablet. Kevin just runs up, snatches it. He just raises it above his head, and Ben's like, "Kevin, don't." And Kevin's just like, and just runs away. He's like, "I'm gonna steal this train." And runs away, and then he's like, "I'm like, you're a fucking idiot." I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot," and I love you because you're a dumbass. But yeah, Kevin and Ben are being very well written. Gwen is also being pretty much well written as well. You know, this entire show is well written. This entire show is pretty damn well written, and I honestly want to see more. I'm happy that I guess it's going to start again in April. But then again, when I saw it, it was like the Ben 10,010. And then it's like, yes, Ben 10,010 is going to be the one. Like, it looks like that entire season is literally going to be I think actually maybe it will be the same amount of the other ones. It's basically 3 movies. It's the Ben 10,000 movie, then it's the Ben 10 Generator Rex movie, and then there's Ben 10 Alien Extinction. Which I'm kind of for. I'm kind of really for. Because I think that would be pretty badass to see those, these longer formatted ones, and like where it's pretty much 3 different stories. I don't know if it's coming to an end, the Ben 10 reboot. I kind of hope it's not, because they have so many more aliens that they could bring back that I'm honestly kind of excited to see. Especially watching Alien Force and stuff like that. It's like, you know what? Story-wise, this thing is terrible. Alien-wise, it's pretty damn good. I am actually really enjoying the aliens now. Even though, again, you have shit like, again, Echo completely erasing the need for Ditto. Or the fact that Humongosaur in the reboot is way more fucking cool and interesting than the Humongosaur in Alien Force. The reboot knew how to use that character, and they used him well. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Which videos I've done. Links are on Facebook and others. Please check out my videos. Also, again, the biggest thing I want to see Kevin. Apparently, Kevin gets a new alien, which I want to see. But I want to see Kevin getting more upgrades for his watch. I feel like Kevin needs more upgrades for his watch to kind of start kind of catching up with Ben a little bit. I don't want it to be kind of the Vegeta kind of thing, even though it is a testament to how badass Kevin is, that he, even with a limited amount of transformations and, maybe the quickest thing is maybe a quick change feature, he's able to keep up and pretty much beat Ben a few times while Ben has the OMNIKIX armor, or new aliens that are just out of the blue new and stuff like that. That's really freaking cool. Also, I have yet to see Jet Ray fly as fast as apparently Accelerator, because apparently Jet Ray is one of the fastest aliens Ben has in the OMNIKIX, apparently, but I haven't seen him fly at that fast. But anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Videos and links are on Facebook and others. Videos. Tell me what you guys think, and we will see you later. That was actually a cool sound effect.